Now, preparing for the cold, the challenges facing local shelters, helping some of the city's most vulnerable. Plus, a breakdown of some of the new major developments today in the Chandler Halderson murder trial. The prosecution still making its case after 8 days of testimony. And the pandemic highlighting a growing need in the community, how this mural in the windows of the Overture Center is trying to address it. It's all coming up on News 3 Now at 10. And thanks for joining us tonight. If you've been outdoors, you know it is cold out there. You better get used to it for a bit. We got a couple alert days coming up, but even after that, there isn't much relief too soon. Let's go straight to Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti with our certified most accurate forecast. Gary?
Well, Eric, it is very cold out here tonight, and the temperatures and the wind chills continue to drop as the winds stay brisk and those temperatures really falling off with clear skies. The time lapse from the WISC-TV sky cam shows that we had sunshine for much of the day and very little in the way of cloud cover. And with clear skies and the snow cover on the ground tonight, those temperatures are falling off pretty rapidly. Low temperatures by tomorrow morning down to around 3 below zero. Tomorrow night might even be a little colder with low temperatures around 7 below zero. That'll create wind chills from 10 to 25 below zero, especially tonight. High temperatures tomorrow staying at or below zero with daytime high temperatures probably staying below 10 degrees. Doppler track showing some heavy lake effect snow bands down into parts of northwestern Indiana and southwestern Michigan. Temperatures across southern Wisconsin are mainly in the single digits, but you factor in the winds, we're seeing wind chills now between about 5 and 15 below zero. They're even colder out to the west of us. Wind chill advisories in effect from midnight tonight through noon tomorrow for Dane County and areas to the west. By tomorrow morning, Madison will drop to around 3 below zero with wind chills as cold as 20 to 25 below zero. High temperature tomorrow only at 9 degrees, even though we have bright sunshine. Later on, I'll take a look at a forecast that also includes at least a couple of chances for snow.
Gary, thank you. And homeless shelters across the city are getting ready for what will likely be a long-term freeze. We checked in with Porchlight this evening. They say on average about 130 people stay there per night, and a few times they have topped the 150 mark. What has been a challenge this year, the drop-in shelters director says the 15 people who work there, 12 of them have caught COVID over the past couple of months, but others have stepped up to help.
Compared to the past, we have enough staff, and that's the key. You have to have adequate staff. We certainly have much more space now than we've ever had. You know, so those two components, it's easier for us to do our job. It's easier for us to help people get out of the cold.
Typically, the shelter has a strict 8:30 p.m. curfew, but on nights like tonight, where it is life-threateningly cold, they will make exceptions. And with this stretch of cold weather, be sure to download our free First Warn weather app, forecast advisories, and interactive radar right on your phone. The prosecution in the Chandler Halderson trial still not done presenting its case. That means it'll likely wrap up tomorrow before the defense takes over. Today, analysts say cell tower records placed the phone belonging to Halderson near where both of his parents' remains were later found, possibly linking him to both crime scenes. The DOJ was able to use data from U.S. Cellular to show Halderson's phone visited both the town of Roxbury location near the Wisconsin River on July 3rd, where Krista Halderson's remains were later found, and the Cottage Grove farm on July 5th, where Bart Halderson's remains were later found. In addition to phone tower data, investigators said they looked into the search history of the Google account associated with Chandler Halderson. On July 8th, the account's history included searches for, quote, body found Wisconsin, Wisconsin dismembered body found, and dead body found in Wisconsin. It showed those searches were made before authorities knew Bart and Krista Halderson were dismembered. Again, we're anticipating the prosecution to wrap up their case tomorrow, the defense then taking over, and we will be live streaming it online like we have been since the beginning of the trial. And for a more in-depth look at the testimony, you can head to channel3000.com. Just click on the Halderson trial link at the top of the screen. And new information tonight following a gruesome discovery in Cambridge earlier this week. Police say the body found inside a vehicle there is believed to be connected to a deadly Milwaukee shooting. Milwaukee police say the victim, a 34-year-old man from Kaukauna, was shot on January 17th. According to the Milwaukee County Medical Examiner's Office, his death was ruled a homicide. Now, Dane County Sheriff's deputies found his body inside a vehicle Monday night in Cambridge. It was found after a Heartland woman who was driving the vehicle was arrested after allegedly pulling a gun on officers. The body was found during a search of her car. She was arrested for her connection to the incident that the Milwaukee PD is now leading that investigation. New tonight, a small plane crashing into a fuel truck for takeoff yesterday in Racine County. It happened at the Sylvania Airport. The pilot, a 79-year-old man from Waterford, he had to be airlifted to the hospital. Deputies said that prior to liftoff, the plane's wing struck the fuel tanker truck, which spun the plane around and caused it to crash head-on into the truck. Getting a look at our top COVID headlines tonight. Cases within the Madison School District are on a sharp increase. Over the past week alone, the district has identified more than 800 cases among students and staff. Over the course of the last 2 weeks, nearly 1,200 people within the district tested positive. That's 50% of their total cases reported since the pandemic began. And the COVID testing clinic at Alliant Energy Center says it will again be increasing the number of people it can test, while also announcing plans to be open 7 days a week. Now, that will begin on Monday. Public Health says in addition to adding more appointments, in many cases, same-day appointments are also available. So you do need to register online ahead of time to get tested there. And it's back to school for members of the Wisconsin National Guard to help fill a need. They're swapping their Army uniforms for black scrubs. Troops began certified nursing assistant training at Madison College this month. They'll help in hospitals and long-term care centers with staffing shortages.
They are very diligent. They are dedicated to the work and the mission that they have in front of them. They're embracing the curriculum with enthusiasm and very highly engaged.
Within 2 months, 160 Guard members will complete 75 hours of CNA training to be deployed in facilities across the state. Up in northeastern Wisconsin, the U.S. Navy team working at Bellin Memorial Hospital will stay an extra 30 days. The 23-person team will now leave at the end of February. The team was initially brought in to help with high hospital capacity last month. 100,000 high-quality masks are now in Dane County, ready for distribution. Last week, county leaders announced they ordered the KN95 masks, and today they arrived. Public Health and the Department of Emergency Management will now work on plans to issue them. And we're hearing about new details on how the Biden administration will distribute 400 million free N95s. They'll become available starting late next week at a network of local pharmacies and community health centers. Many of them are at the same locations that have been used to administer vaccines. The free masks come from the Strategic National Stockpile and represent more than half of the 750 million masks in that inventory. A new report today from the CDC shows the best protection against COVID is vaccination, not natural immunity. Researchers based their findings on just over 1 million vaccinated and unvaccinated people. CDC officials found both prior infection and vaccination helped prevent severe cases, but other factors like the variant and waning vaccine immunity played a role in infection rates. Well, this latest surge has magnified many of the problems Madison was already facing before Omicron and even before the pandemic. Local homeless shelters, food pantries, and nonprofits continue to serve a record number of people. Christina Laurie has the story behind the city's newest art project meant to help.
Madison's newest piece of artwork is going up here at the Overture piece by piece. From the outside, it looks like a mural. From the inside, it has much more meaning.
So a lot of people, when they think of food insecurity, they might picture someone who's experiencing homelessness.
When you hear the phrase food insecurity, you probably think of someone poor, someone else, someone, but not you.
And the reality is that's not what food insecurity is. It's your kid's best friend at school. It's your next door neighbor.
10% of families living in Dane County are food insecure, meaning they're unsure where they'll find their next meal.
We really struggled with food insecurity.
Chef Dave's family used to be one of them. Dave says when people look at him, they see the owner of a fine dining restaurant.
The end of 2007 is when we opened. 2009 was the whole recession. And, you know, it was the point where my family and I were, like, thankfully we had the restaurant, but we were definitely eating a majority of our food just from, like, leftovers and food that was going to not be okay later on.
But many families like Dave's are struggling in silence, and this mural is meant to help.
This is about more than just people who are food insecure. This is just about what food means to you. And you'll actually see that as this mural comes together. It has a bunch of words on it.
The project also has a much bigger purpose. It's part of Dave's $6 million capital campaign for a new pay-what-you-can restaurant called Little John's, which will be able to provide 40,000 meals a week for local families facing food insecurity.
The thing I learned the most from it was you never know who's struggling.
This mural will be up through the end of January, and through then, Little John's is still collecting more donations and food stories. You can share both at the links we posted up on our website, channel3000.com. Reporting in Madison for News 3 Now, I'm Christina Laurie.
And the goal was to raise $25,000 through the mural project. Heidi ended up with $75,000 and counting, pushing Little John's to $3.5 million of its $6 million fundraising goal. Once Heidi hits $4 million, he will break ground on the restaurant, which he expects to happen this summer. Developing tonight, the U.S. Supreme Court allowing the release of presidential documents sought by the House committee investigating the January 6th insurrection. The justices today rejected a bid by former President Trump to withhold the documents from the committee. They include presidential diaries, visitor logs, speech drafts, and handwritten notes. We're also seeing new visuals tonight in the seditious conspiracy case against members of the far-right group, the Oath Keepers. Today, the Justice Department releasing these images from security cameras at a Virginia hotel. Prosecutors say they were taken ahead of the January 6th Capitol attack and show members of the extremist group wheeling bins and bags into a hotel room. Now, according to the DOJ, the bins contain weapons, ammunition, and other supplies for the group's Quick Reaction Force. Workers completed the removal of the towering statue of Theodore Roosevelt from outside New York City's American Museum of Natural History today. The museum decided to remove it 2 years ago amid anti-racism protests across the country. The statue showed Roosevelt on a horse with a Native American man and an African man by his side. On the eve of his one-year anniversary of being sworn into office, Senate Republicans handed President Biden a setback tonight, blocking his voting rights legislation once again. With no Republicans in support of the bill, it failed to get the necessary bipartisan support to move forward. In a separate vote tonight, the Senate also failed to approve changing the filibuster rules. It comes amid low approval ratings over the president's handling of the pandemic and record inflation, while his administration also faces legislative gridlock in Congress. Today, he says, just like day one, COVID-19 continues to be his top priority.
Omicron has now been challenging us in a way that it's the new enemy. But while it's cause for concern, it's not cause for panic.
The latest CBS News poll gave him low marks on his handling of the pandemic, and a majority of respondents said he is not focusing enough on the economy and record high prices due to inflation.
We've seen record job creation, record economic growth in the past year. Still, for all this progress, I know there's a lot of frustration.
Now, two of the president's major domestic priorities is a big social spending and climate bill and voting rights legislation have stalled in the Senate, held up in part by members of his own party. And next week, Vice President Kamala Harris will be coming back to Wisconsin. The White House says she will visit Milwaukee on Monday, but additional information has not been released. The vice president last visited Milwaukee in May when she toured UW-Milwaukee and held a roundtable with Senator Tammy Baldwin. The University of Michigan has reached a $490 million settlement over sex abuse allegations against a former university physician. More than 1,000 people say they were abused by Dr. Robert Anderson, who died in 2008. Dr. Anderson worked at the university from 1966 to 2003. The settlement must be agreed upon by 98% of the claimants and approved by the school's Board of Regents and the court. Still to come tonight, dropping temperatures. Gary will rejoin us with his complete forecast. Plus, we're getting a sneak peek inside SSM Health's new state-of-the-art clinic on the city's south side when it's anticipated to officially open. That story next.
January clearance time at A1 Furniture with 10 to 40% off store-wide and tax included on any purchase over $499. Huge selection in stock for immediate pickup or delivery, plus 1 year free financing.
Madison's locally owned family furniture store.
My dog wants a yard.
Love it.
And another dog.
Have you looked at houses yet?
Not yet.
But that's good. I learned from Summit that it's better to start with a pre-approval anyway.
Right.
Yeah. You can decide how much you're comfortable paying each month and then back into your price range.
Oh, and start putting the difference between your rent and your future mortgage into savings.
With Summit Credit Union, you might be more ready than you think.
I think it's great. Summit helps people build confidence and knowledge to move forward. It's your money. Own it. Summit Credit Union.
We love our new home. Lots of windows, great light.
But the birds. They're back.
Yes, I hear them.
Uh-oh. Why are these birds so angry?
At least Geico makes bundling our home and car insurance easy.
We save a lot.
I'm going.
Hurry.
I know.
For bundling made easy, go to geico.com.
Water is one of nature's most beautiful and life-sustaining resources. At no fault of their own, many Wisconsin utility customers are facing a shutoff to their water service. This leaves them without the one life-giving resource we all take for granted. And those hardest hit are on fixed incomes, juggling multiple temporary jobs, or those who lost full-time jobs in sectors hardest hit by the pandemic. If someone you care about needs a hand up, your local Wisconsin energy and emergency rental assistance providers are working together to keep you safely in your home and your water, heat, and power on. If you are in danger of losing your water service, call 833-H2O-WISC, 833-426-9472. You may not ask for it, but we're here to help.
Get the best deals on name brand mattresses only at A1 Furniture's January clearance event. Save 10 to 40% off and get tax included on any purchase over $499, plus 1 year free financing.
Madison's locally owned family furniture store.
This guy bleeds green and gold, and now it could earn him a spot in the Packer Fan Hall of Fame. Josh Breiter tells you how you could help make it happen.
And we have an alert day in the forecast for our Thursday. I'll have details tomorrow morning from 4:30 to 7.
You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
Welcome back. SSM Health says its brand new state-of-the-art clinic is on track for completion in about a month. We got an inside look at it today. Located along South Fish Hatchery Road, the 5-story, $75 million project was first announced in 2017, and ground was broken in July of 2020. It'll include primary care services like pediatrics and family medicine, support services like physical therapy, pharmacy, and laboratory services. It'll also feature specialty health care services like cancer care and orthopedics. Starbucks employees will no longer need to be vaccinated against COVID to keep their jobs. The coffee giant reversing its policy announced a few weeks ago. Starbucks had previously said all workers must get the shot or face a weekly COVID test by next month. However, when the Supreme Court rejected the Biden administration's vaccine mandate for large companies, Starbucks changed its policy. The U.S. government attempting to help ease the trucker shortage. A new federal apprenticeship will allow 18-year-olds to drive semis across state lines. 49 states and Washington, D.C. give commercial licenses to those under 21, but they can only drive big rigs within their state. This new program will take those young drivers and train them on interstate trucks. During training, apprentices will be under the direct supervision of an experienced driver. The TSA holding a series of hiring events across the state over the next week. One of them right here in Madison tomorrow from noon until 6 p.m. TSA officials will be at their administrative offices on Pancras Street near the airport. Attendees will receive information about full-time and part-time positions and have the opportunity to complete multiple steps of the hiring process. Well, the threat from a deadly underwater volcano may not be over for Tonga. These newly released photos show the destruction in the capital city. Entire Tongan communities are buried under ash from what scientists are calling the world's biggest volcanic eruption in more than 3 decades. Geologists say further eruptions are likely in the coming days and weeks, posing an ongoing tsunami risk. Our concerns around here are about the dangerously cold weather moving in. Gary Canalti with the latest.
Yeah, temperatures continue to fall. 3 things you need to know in the forecast. Look for bitterly cold weather for tonight, tomorrow, and tomorrow night through early Friday morning. Friday won't be as cold with temperatures back into the middle teens. Tomorrow we probably won't get out of the single digits. And then we'll be in the low 20s on Saturday with some snow showers, but very cold weather again returns for the first half of next week. Alert days in the forecast for tomorrow and tomorrow night. Low temperatures tonight around 3 below 0 with wind chills down to about 25 below 0. Low temperatures tomorrow night a little colder, maybe around 7 below 0. The wind chills may not be quite as cold though because the winds will be pretty light. High temperatures during the day tomorrow though only around 9 degrees with wind chills staying at or below 0. Doppler track tonight shows heavy lake effect snow squalls downwind from Lake Michigan and also from Lake Superior and northern portions of Lake Michigan. The lake snow machine really on duty for tonight. You can see the snow cover is pretty widespread across our part of the Midwest, and as long as the winds stay out of the north and northwest, it just comes over that fresh snow cover and continues to keep us very cold. Temperatures right now in the single digits above 0 for much of Wisconsin, although Rhinelander now at 1 below 0 and Superior is down to 5 below. But then you get into Minnesota, all the major reporting stations are below zero, and temperatures are approaching 15 below zero in the western part of that state. You factor in the winds, and we're seeing wind chills now as cold as 32 below zero in Morris, Minnesota. Some areas there may see wind chills down to 40 to 45 below zero, or wind chill warnings are in effect for far western Minnesota and much of North Dakota. Wind chill advisories in effect for Dane County and areas to the west beginning at midnight tonight and lasting through noon tomorrow. Current temperatures across the Midwest, cold no matter where you go. The cold air now settling south of the Ohio River. The 40s are pushed down into central Tennessee, and that will retreat with time as well. Compared to 24 hours ago, this is a big drop in temperatures. We're down 31 degrees just in the last 24 hours. Much of this area between about 30 and 35 degrees. The temperature dropped from this time yesterday when we were in the mid-30s. In fact, our high temperature for today was 35 degrees at midnight, and the temperatures have been falling ever since. Notice the upper level winds coming right out of central Canada into the Midwest. Fortunately, this will be just a short shot of the cold air. It'll only stick around for about a day and a half, and then temperatures will rebound a little bit, still staying below normal through the end of this week, and then turning colder again for next week. And you can see those lake effect snows really starting to kick in from just about all of the Great Lakes, and that'll be the case for the next couple of days. High pressure located just north of North Dakota. That's the center of the cold air mass, pushing the cold front now south of Kentucky, where winter weather advisories are in effect as the rain changes to snow there. They could see several inches of snow and maybe some freezing rain as well. So our forecast includes that winter weather advisory for Dane County and areas to the west from midnight through noon tomorrow. Look for an overnight low temperature of about 3 below zero with wind chills as cold as 25 below zero by tomorrow morning. High temperature tomorrow only at 9 degrees. Wind chills staying below zero through the day. 7 to 10 day forecast back up to 15 after an early morning low of 7 below on Friday. 23 on Saturday with some light snow showers. Temperatures turn colder for the start of next week. Maybe some snow showers Monday. But by the end of next week, at least temperatures should be back closer to normal.
Bucks welcome back one of their big three tonight as they take on a well-rounded Memphis squad. Highlights of Drew Holiday's return. We got that coming up in sports.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Crazy Lenny's winter event continues.
It's not over till 1/3 of our e-bikes are sold at cost. Restrictions. All bikes come with round tires, burger buns not included. International banking laws, Pyre squares applicable. Okay, just get here before 1/3 of our bikes are sold at cost.
1/3 of all Lenny's e-bikes sold at cost.
Dear Jack Frost, people say you've got ice in your veins. But underneath it all, you're just a big old softie. Go ahead, try to nip at our toes. Thanks to our available Remote Connect, we'll be toasty and warm and ready to go. Warm wishes, Toyota Cars.
Every new Toyota comes with Toyota Care, a 2-year or 25,000-mile maintenance plan and roadside assistance. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
At the Burrish Group at UBS, we believe in empowering women to take control of their financial security with a team of female advisors who understand the needs and goals of women. We believe you can achieve anything you put your mind to and can help you stay ahead of life's expected and unexpected events. Give our team a call today to start the conversation.
Chunk Gaming Madison. Tom, people are loving this place.
They sure are, Jerry. Let's go see who Tina's chatting with now.
Thanks, guys. Looks like we have some beautiful ladies joining us. What are you up to tonight, girls?
Girls' night.
We're getting some drinks.
I want to win that car.
Sounds great. Are you feeling lucky? What's your favorite slot machine? Up to you guys.
Looks like those ladies are on a mission.
Oh, it's about to go down.
Chunk Gaming Madison.
Papa Murphy's presents How to Change the Way You Pizza. Step 1, carefully knead dough. Step 2, artfully spread sauce. Step 3, add fresh mozzarella and assemble toppings. Step 4, realize we already did all that for you. So all you have to do is bake it. Right now, get the delicious herb chicken Mediterranean pizza with chicken, sun-dried tomatoes, and zesty herbs on a thin crust. Order online at papamurphys.com. Papa Murphy's, change the way you pizza.
Menards has everything you need for your painting project. We have the best brands, quality, and prices on paints from Pittsburgh. Grand Distinction is a paint and primer in one with a distinctively rich color. A gallon is $19.98 after $14 rebate. Get the floor of your dreams with Menards' huge selection of Shaw flooring. From luxurious carpet to durable laminate flooring and waterproof vinyl plank. Find the perfect addition to your home. Save big on Shaw flooring.
Save big money at Menards.
Crazy Lenny's winter event continues.
It's not over till 1/3 of our e-bikes are sold at cost. Restrictions. All bikes come with round tires, burger buns, not included. International banking laws, pi squares applicable. Okay, just get here before 1/3 of our bikes are sold at cost.
1/3 of all Lenny's e-bikes sold at cost.
The storied history between the Packers and 49ers is about to have a new chapter with the 9th postseason meeting taking place on Saturday night. And as it stands, the all-time series is split, 4 wins for each side. But over the last 10 years, it hasn't been smooth sailing for the green and gold. 3 straight playoff losses to the Niners. The most recent is the 2019 NFC Championship game. But while the 49ers hold recent postseason advantage, the Packers are controlling this narrative and know what needs to be done on Saturday.
Make each possession count, and don't come out flat like what we have in some playoff games against them in the past. You gotta come out firing. You gotta kind of throw everything you got at them, not hold anything back. And we know what type of team they are, but we've won the last 2, and we kind of have a pretty good rhythm with that. So as long as we come, they ain't gonna just lay down and let us win the 3rd in a row.
Now on the injury front, Randall Cobb is expected to play Saturday night. Matt LaFleur saying earlier that he's looking good at practice and anticipates him being out there. So it's an added bonus for the team since anytime the Packers and 49ers meet, it's fast, physical, and close.
Goes both ways for both teams, and ultimately we got to go out there. We got to play our best ball. This is just a very well coached team, a very tough and physical team, and I mean they're explosive in every phase of the game. So it's going to be so important for us just to be able to go out there and everybody playing their role and doing the best job possible.
Bucks are getting back on their home court at the right time, try to snap a 2-game skid against the Grizzlies. Drew Holiday officially active tonight after missing a string of games to an ankle injury. He delivers from the top of the key to tie it up. Well, the Bucks start pulling away as halftime approaches. Giannis decides to take it in himself and uses the glass to his advantage. Bucks up by 15. He finishes with a game-high 33. The Deer move back into the win column, 126-114 the final. The Wisconsin women's hockey team has 1 loss this season, and it was on December 3rd, and it came at the hands of their biggest rival. Well, that doesn't sit well with the Badgers, and neither does the result of the 2nd game against the Gophers. Minnesota came into Laban and left with a win and a tie. They scored 5 goals in 2 games. So you could say Kennedy Blair is excited to prove her performance against the Gophers was a fluke.
I think there's a motivation thing. I mean, you're always going to have one bad series, and I think that was my bad series this year, and I just kind of want to have a little revenge over it. I know I came in and made a few mistakes here and there, and yeah, this I'm definitely looking forward just to have the revenge on them and hopefully get 2 wins.
And Wisconsin wrestling is coming off a statement win over Minnesota. For the first time in over 10 years, the Badgers bested the Gophers. Headlining the win, Garrett Model, who came up with the biggest upset on Sunday. Model beat 4th-ranked Brayton Lee by decision. That win earns Model both the Big Ten and USA Wrestler of the Week award. Badgers are back home this Friday, hosting Nebraska. We'll be right back.
This has been complete and utter shock.
I'm a little old to count down the days, but my ski trip to Cascade Mountain with my cousin each year, so much fun. We used to pretend like we were flying. Now, we really do. My dad and my uncle like that we still ski free. But Noah and I, we just have fun. See you there.
Isn't it great how swinging through Culver's drive-thru marks the unofficial start to family time? How biting into a hot-off-the-grill Butterburger makes worries melt away? And how a fresh frozen custard concrete mixer puts a smile on your face every time? Here, a meal you didn't have to make is a meal made fresh for you. And being greeted with a smile, even beneath a mask, makes all the difference.
There's a reason we put so much care into our food. That reason is you. Welcome to Delicious.
Water is one of nature's most beautiful and life-sustaining resources. At no fault of their own, many Wisconsin utility customers are facing a shutoff to their water service. This leaves them without the one life-giving resource we all take for granted. And those hardest hit are on fixed incomes, juggling multiple temporary jobs, or those who lost full-time jobs in sectors hardest hit by the pandemic. If someone you care about needs a hand up, your local Wisconsin energy and emergency rental assistance providers are working together to keep you safely in your home and your water, heat, and power on. If you are in danger of losing your water service, call 833-H2O-WISC, 833-426-9472. You may not ask for it, but we're here to help.
The Washington Swamp. Ron Johnson's up to his neck in it. It's no surprise Johnson broke his promise to only serve 2 Senate terms as his net worth doubled in office. Johnson pushed for a new tax loophole for the wealthiest Americans, personally benefited from the tax break, and 2 of his biggest donors pocketed millions. Ron Johnson's deep in the swamp, out for himself, not us. SMP is responsible for the content of this ad.
Dirt's gonna fly at the Alliant Energy Center. The Monsters of Destruction, February 4th and 5th at 7:30 and the 6th at 2 p.m. Top monster trucks including Laminator, War Wizard, and Crazy Train, along with the insane action of freestyle motocross. Every ticket includes a pit pass for the pit party with drivers and riders, plus go for a ride in a monster truck. Get tickets and details at monstersofdestruction.com. Get ripped up. The Monsters of Destruction, February 4th, 5th, and 6th.
Download the Channel 3000 First Warn Weather app today. You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
Finally, tonight, check it out. Oscar Mayer is joining the beauty business. It's now making a skincare mask that resembles a slice of its iconic luncheon meat. Don't worry, it's not actually bologna. Instead, it's made with witch hazel botanicals and seaweed-derived ingredients. Oscar Mayer admits the limited edition mask is a cheeky attempt to, quote, playfully subvert the beauty category. You can get one on Amazon for just $5 while supplies last. Sing the song, Gary. B-O-L-O. What is it? B-O-L-O-G-N-A?
Yeah.
Oscar Mayer?
I'll pass.
You don't want to sing tonight for us?
No.
Let's get our mind off this weather, shall we?
Yeah, it's hard when you step out the door because you get slapped in the face with it. Live view from the Edgewater Sky Cam. Skies are clear across southern Wisconsin. Doppler track, free of precipitation. Visibilities right now looking good because the skies are clear. The temperatures, though, that's another story. They're in the single digits, and then you factor in the winds, and we're seeing wind chills right now between about 5 and 15 below zero. They will continue to drop overnight. We have a wind chill advisory for Dane County and areas to the west from midnight through noon tomorrow. Look for a low tonight of 3 below zero with wind chills as cold as 25 below zero by morning. High temperature tomorrow at 9 with sunny skies. 15 on Friday, 23 on Saturday, some light snow. Cold early next week, but by the end of next week, we should warm up a little bit.
We'll look forward to that. Stay warm out there, folks. Thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 10. Have a great night.